Are we ready to dive into this?
I'm so excited for this. This is great.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Marvel Retrospective. I am the Phantom Rider, Travis now.
My name is Legion, for we are many.
Nice.
I am the. Oh, there's so many good ones.
No.
Oh, there's so many good ones.
Too many good.
I will stick with the Taylor Field.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, if you've not guessed by our nicknames, because you know what, maybe you haven't, or you're not guessed by the title, we are reviewing and retrospecting Ghost Rider. We're doing this in honor of Iron Fist. Either you're watching this early on Patreon, if not, Iron Fist is dropping in a few days. We'll be dropping a review for that at some point. What do you play with video?
We're gonna get copyrighted.
$80 replicas right there. They're
80
pristine.
bones?
Is that the authentic voice?
Yeah,
$80 each. Or?
Authentic everything.
Or
Yeah,
both?
each. Yeah, I still gotta get Jesse
That's
and
steep.
Bullseye.
You could have bought a Switch for that price, nearly.
Nearly, but you know, was Woody and Buzzy or
Woody and Buzzy.
Shit, Woody and Buzz. You know, they're all
They're a classic
classics,
duo.
and these are supposed to be life size, like what they'd be in the movies.
No,
Like,
No, I think they're way bigger than what they'd be in.
No. That's they've partnered with Pixar. Like this is the exact measurements they are in the movies.
Pixar's
for Buzz
wrong, they
and
gave the
Woody.
wrong numbers.
No, there's a certificate and everything. It's legit. This is what.
Who made the
I don't
certificate?
What? Pixar, Disney, the toy company. So this is legitimately when Andy's playing with Woody, that's the size he's supposed to be.
Ooh.
I didn't say this. This is what Disney and the company said. Anyways, in honor of Iron Fist, we'll drop a review of that. We thought, you know what, that's some magic, and you know this, the great land of Kunlun. So
Kunlun.
let's go to the great land of
New York.
This place in New York. In
Oh,
New
it
York,
doesn't?
the big cheese. I think it does.
I don't know.
Well, we could say Texas because
Doesn't
they
look
go
like
Texas.
Or Nick Cage's
Texas,
mind. Either.
Houston.
Mm-hmm. So we thought, you know what, because of we do one-offs now for Marvel, let's just do Ghost Rider, because we did Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance a long time ago, not in the same format, but for a show we used to do, Netflix and Fail, we did Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance on our Comic-Con. That wasn't the most well-received, so we're doing Ghost Rider, the original, the OG. I don't know where to... should we start in the high or start in the low? What do we feel like?
Starting a little.
Okay, so, Dylan...
You start.
Okay, so this movie has a lot of things. It has action, it has horror, it has comedy, it has romance, has a villain who gets quite a big highlight in this movie. Unfortunately, it does none of those things well, and I have a hard time finding anything positive to say about this movie. I remember this being a lot better than this, and I even thought this was not a good movie. There's 3 comic book movies I remember watching. This, Amazing Spider-Man and Green Lantern were like the first 3 where I was starting to find myself slipping out of the face. Like, I love all these comic book movies. I was like, oh, I didn't enjoy that. Ghost Rider I didn't even see in the theaters because I was just like, Ghost Rider was never big, not my guy. I've read him more as I've gotten older, but I saw it on DVD and I just remember most of my family liking it and just be like, no, you guys, like, that wasn't good. Like, no. And this movie is 2 hours. It feels like 4 hours. Like, I feel like we could watch the second season of Iron Fist and that would feel maybe quicker than that. Because this movie just, I kept checking, like, man, it's still going. For a movie that's so basic too, where such little happens, Nick Cage is pretty bad in this movie. I think he's better in Spirit of Vengeance because Spirit of Vengeance, at least to me, has this like so bad it's good quality. This is just bad and dull. It's not really exciting. There's nothing too offensive. There's nothing too outrageous to get laughed. There's a couple times I laughed, but sometimes I was just laughing because how sad the things were going. Terrible villain. We'll get into that in trivia. I have maybe some reason why, but he is just god awful. The romance does not hit. They don't have any chemistry. I think, you know what, Ghost Rider looks good. CG for 2006, I think he looks pretty good, so I'll give them that. Directed by Mark Steven Johnson. He did Daredevil and Elektra. I'm a big fan of Daredevil. Wink, that's what we're going to be doing next. Hate Elektra, so, he's kind of a 1 out of 3 for me. And yeah, this movie, I'm excited to talk about it, but at the same time, I don't have much to say. I have notes, and we'll talk about the plot, of course. But this was a lot worse than I remembered, and this is gonna go in that category of movies I'm never ever gonna watch again. I lied about the Star Wars prequels, but that's in there. Scream 4, this has been added to that list of I never need to see this again. You know, I took the prequels out because I'm like, you know what? This at least had Obi-Wan and Ewan McGregor. So you know, I watched those again because I love him. This, I got no reason whatsoever to ever pop this into a DVD or streaming thing again to waste 2 hours and 3 minutes of my life. So yeah, Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider on.
Which I also say we're not having a good string of luck for to spoil Dylan's thing of non-MCU retro movies so far.
It hasn't been so nice.
No.
You know, I think I might quit. This is awful.
Hey, it ain't nice. It's a mess. With
It ain't nice to double cross the eyes.
Oh, crap. Check out the Spider-Man retro.
So I thought I had seen this movie throughout my life. I'm watching it yesterday. I realized that none of this was familiar, and this is probably the first time I've seen the movie.
Or you just blanked it out because you saw it.
It's possible that as a coping mechanism, I maybe got super drunk after I watched it to just shatter my memory. I have to agree with you, Travis. I did not enjoy really anything about this movie at all. The acting from every single person in this movie is bad, really bad. Nick Cage, I never really would say he's a bad actor. I think he just obviously he gets typecast as like these really zany, weird characters. Typically, you know, people who are making these characters might not be the best writers, so therefore his characters might not have the most depth.
Yeah.
I think he's fine in this movie. There's a couple great Nick Cages in this movie, but there's not many. I mean, every time I watch a Nick Cage movie, I just want every scene to be something memorable, like Mom and Dad, for example, we watched recently, and I feel like there was a lot of good Nick Cageisms in that one. This movie, not so much, but yeah, every other character is, really treacherous. That whole opening segment, it was only 20 minutes, but it felt really long with, like, the origin story of him as a teen and his dad at the carnival. I don't know, I almost couldn't get past that. It was pretty bad. The villain, I guess they introduced him somewhat early on, but then they kind of forget about him for a while. And then they kind of come back to him, but I never really cared too much about his story. And then there's like this big reveal of like who he is, and didn't really feel like a big reveal.
No.
I didn't even really think there was a whole lot of action in this movie. There's a couple like scenes where he's like throwing his chain around and stuff, which was cool. And I agree the CGI on Ghost Rider himself is pretty good, and on his bike and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
The love story is awful because that's still a point in comic book movie history where I feel like
you need it.
It has to be in every single movie. There has to be a love story.
We're not greenlighting this movie unless there's a romance in here, so you better put it in. I was wrong. 2007. So this movie, to put this in perspective, this movie came out a year before the original Iron Man. My God, it shows how important Iron Man really was. This was a year before Iron Man. Oh my God, that's fucking scary.
That is pretty wild.
And the Dark Knight too, really, when you think about that. That's crazy. We'd be getting the Iron Man and Dark Knight a year after this.
But you wouldn't have those movies without Ghost Rider. Then.
No, you'd have those movies.
This
had nothing to do with Iron Man or the Dark Knight. Yeah, Nolan.
I guess this could exist in the current MCU and no one would bat an eye. It doesn't deconfirm anything. It doesn't break anything. It just hurts our eyes. I don't know. I feel like this movie was very dull. It's a very basic story. All the character interactions are just very entry level. Like there's not really any intrigue to any of them. And wow, it really was a struggle. Like these 2 hours, I couldn't do it all in one sitting. I had to like pause and like do something else for a little bit. Like it was really hard for me to just sit down and watch this movie and like, because whenever I watch this movie for this cast, I always try to pay attention, take as many notes as possible, like make sure I know exactly what's going on with all the characters. But this movie really made it a challenge. And I can't remember. I mean, Spirit of Vengeance we watched, what was that, a year or 2 ago?
2 years ago now.
It's kind of blurred in my memory, but I feel like I enjoyed it more than this because there really isn't anything other than a couple little Nick Cage moments that I enjoyed about this movie. Mostly it was just a sad 2 hours.
And I will say before Taylor raises up, this is the reason, movies like this is why whenever I hear anyone refer to Thor Dark World as a bad comic book movie, I go, no, we've had bad comic book movies. Thor Dark World is like a masterpiece compared to this. Thor Dark World is just a decent
I don't think Dark World and masterpiece should ever be used in the same
compared
sentence.
to this though,
No.
it's an Oscar-winning film. 100%
You
is.
said the same thing in chat to me about Blade. You still can't.
No, I didn't. No,
You did. You said the exact same sentence, but you replaced Darkworld with Blade. And the thing is, man,
Let's see here.
you just this movie is bad, but it doesn't make those movies a masterpiece. Okay?
I don't think I said Blade was a masterpiece. Blade is a masterpiece. Okay, fair enough. I'll stop using the M word, but what I do think is that's why I always
I know where you're getting at.
Yeah, that's why I always preference when people say it's a bad movie. Thor: Dark World is not a bad movie.
You know what
This
someone's gonna do?
is a
Someone
bad
like Travis
movie.
Smells is gonna edit those 3 seconds. Do you want to be heard saying those things in a row? Because people are gonna put that wherever they wish. I know.
Uncle boys are gonna go and
Yeah.
get me, but yeah, that's why we've had a lot worse. So if Thor: Dark World's as bad as the MCU ever gets, it's pretty damn good. So Taylor Field, big Ghost Rider fan, big Nick Cage fan. You've been waiting to do Ghost Rider for a while. Obviously, we did the second one a couple years back. What do you think about this movie?
You know, I mean, it was a while since like I actually popped this movie in my DVD player and gave it a watch, or my Xbox, sorry, not DVD player. And
We're gonna throw the Xbox. Shut up.
But you know, I totally forgot just how great this movie is. I really enjoyed this movie. Like,
I'm excited to go down the plot and tell me what you
like,
enjoy.
I really like Ghost Rider. My first experience with Ghost Rider is obviously watching this movie, and I saw it in theaters. I saw it with my best friend at the time. You know, it was a great
At the time.
At the time,
They
yeah.
defriended you after you liked the movie and they didn't.
No, we both enjoyed it. Our moms took us, so it was like, yeah, we were young.
Can I tell you the main reason why I think Taylor loves this film is because it's just probably filled with badass shots. And yeah. Of Ghost Rider.
Before I get to the cool scenes.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. Like that's why this because it really said in the first time Ghost Rider sits on his bike and he turns the flame, the whole flame goes in the. I'm like, I understand now why Ghost Rider's one of Taylor's favorite because it did look cool. And I'm like, that's why because Taylor just loves cool shit, stuff that just looks cool. He just surpasses all the character and dialogue.
No.
He's like, that's a motherfucking demon on a bike. Yeah, and like the horse goes up. I'm like, oh, that's why Taylor loves this movie, this character.
No, I think
because
of the characters. I think this is by far one of the best, you know, portrayals of Satan I've seen in a movie.
Oh, what?
Give us your other ones.
Other ones, I love Eva Mendes in this film. I think it's
No.
great.
Your
Other
other
Satans.
Satans. You said it's one of the best
Satans?
portrayals.
Listen
Yeah.
to Satan's.
I'm gonna call it a masterpiece. You gotta call that on your.
I don't like
top
the
10
Satan portrayal in
characters.
Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
Okay, I'm with you there.
Is that a different guy?
Yeah.
Okay. So Spirit of Vengeance came out after the MCU, then, logically.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
Oh wow.
It's not a part though. They've already said that because they.
Says who? Did Feige say it?
No.
If Feige didn't say it, I don't believe
Ghost
it.
Rider's in the Shield TV show now.
So that's like the only Marvel movie that's come out that has chosen not to be part of the MCU, right? If you put like Deadpool,
like the
Fantastic
Amazing
Four, and all that.
Spider-Mans did. Remember?
But
They
yeah,
came
I
out
guess
after
so.
Iron Man, Venom.
But well, no, because I mean, they're owned by a different company. But Ghost Rider's owned by like Disney's Marvel, right?
No, they were after Spirit of Vengeance. That movie came out bombed, and like you can have it back. Because what happens is they can get the right to pay Disney again to keep them, and they didn't. Same thing happened with Daredevil. They didn't make a movie. Said here you go, you can have them back. So
Okay.
same thing with Punisher. Same thing with Blade. Those characters just kind of their contract just kind of expired, and they never made a deal. Or some of them are like you have to make a movie within 2 years, or you won't get it. So that's what happened with Ghost Rider. It wasn't like Marvel with Disney made an outside like Joker Ghost Rider movie. No.
Okay.
Not seeing any Stanley cameos.
This motherfucker's never getting a movie again. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. He'll get a TV show or be in a TV series. You're never gonna see a Ghost Rider movie again.
Maybe in like 50 years or something.
You know, as much
His
as
buddy's dead. Yeah, exactly.
As much as I would love a third one to end the trilogy out with
no.
how they end it, I'm happy with the 2 movies I got. The
You
fact
think
that I got a sequel just blows my mind.
You
I'll
think
take
they're
it.
letting Nick Cage into the MCU? Are you
wish
kidding
they
me?
would.
No,
I wish they would.
Don't believe him and don't believe Wesley Snipes because he's a fucking liar.
Just like he does it in the movie in his interview. Yeah. That scene. You
Oh,
that
I
scene?
know that scene. We're gonna talk about that scene. It makes zero
But,
fucking sense.
I think this movie. I love it. There are, as you said, like there's a lot of great scenes, but I like the characters. I like Evan
No, I
Mendes.
said
You're twisting his words.
I said I thought you thought there's lots of cool scenes. I know at any point in this cast, I said, well, this movie's alright, but there's a lot of great scenes. No, BVS is an alright movie with great scenes. This has nothing great in the title or
I'll
in the
convince you.
description.
I'll convince you.
Oh no, you
I don't know
don't.
if that's
That's like
I want to see you try that.
That's like convincing death is a good thing, you know? Like, no, I still want to live my life a little longer.
But no, I just find that there are a lot of characters that I enjoyed in this movie. I thought that the one problem I have with this movie, the only thing I'll take away, is the way that when the dad is about to die in his accident, and the way his bike like goes sideways, and then afterwards when they show like the rail up in the top is completely like bent and broken. It's like, how did that bend and break? Did the bike like fly up all of a sudden?
When the devil's involved, shit can happen.
It just was like
Of
weird
all the things that
janky.
you could have disliked about this movie that I would agree with, I didn't care about that.
That's
I
what
didn't
they
notice
did
it.
though. I can't remember recently, but he also did that in the movie that he gave like a 9 point. I think it was Jurassic World, and then he was just like, this tree was a little bit off, and I was like, why is it not a 10? Like, oh,
Definitely wasn't a
this
tree.
tree was miscolored. Like, he's been doing that recently, where it's like if it's a gripe, he'll take like a full 0.5 off. It's
He doesn't want to be
fucking-
dropping those Travis 10s.
It's fucking crazy. So
But yeah, no, other than that, we'll get into, I'll point out more stuff as we go along with the plot. One thing, though, I thought was cool is just how, like, the demons, you know, with Mephistopheles and, you know, the demon child, just how demons
Amigor.
fight. They just, you know, they
They're
stand in
bitches.
a park and they just use, like, it's just like blowing shade. That's what I'll call the devil is doing. The devil's blowing shade because he turns the lamppost out. And then the other guy like lights a cigarette and lights the light and he's like, oh, and then he's like, oh, and shuts them off again. It's just like, this is an intense battle of like wit or something like so.
Intense.
it's not the word I got. I got monotonous, really. So
I just thought it was a great overall film.
okay, let's start. I'm gonna do a curveball. Usually we start with characters. I wanted to start with the origin because I didn't think the origin was the worst era. It's not good. Some bad acting's going on there, especially with the guy who's playing young Johnny. I don't know what you've
All
done.
of
I'm
them.
sorry.
Everyone in that flashback.
I thought him specifically was the worst, but I actually thought that was probably the best part of the movie for me. That's not saying it's good. Don't twist my words like Taylor. But Dylan, because you messaged me and you said, "Oh, these are the group." Yeah, you're like, these first 20 minutes are brutal. Why were they so bad for you? Because I felt they did a good job of setting the origin up at least of like, even if there's some bad acting, okay, you know who this character is and his motivations, right? There's some lame stuff that happens, which I'm excited to talk about, but.
I think it comes down to you know, all the characters. Like my problem with the father character is that at the start of the movie he's supposed to be like this hard ass who's like, you know, he's not sensitive at all to like what his son wants and he doesn't really care. But then they kind of abandon that in like 2 minutes. And I think
Yeah, they
my
pull
problem,
Baby Driver. Oh, he's in love.
Wait, why? What do you mean they pulled on the dad? That he wasn't a hard ass anymore?
yeah, like because right after that, I don't know what Johnny is saying, but he's like cool with him like going off like near the end, and then like going off like taking the bike and just leaving, and I don't know, it just seemed like it was a very quick shift, and like it didn't really make sense. Like he wasn't consistent, even though he was only in 20 minutes. It seemed like there was like 3 different characters there.
I'm confused. So you mean because like his dad was a hard ass and he was always up in Johnny's like grill or whatever, and so Johnny made the call to leave because he didn't. It pissed.
Well, he wanted to leave because he wanted to go with that girl, and then his dad was like, "Oh, don't throw your life away for this girl. You think she's gonna follow you when you're in a wheelchair?" And then all this stupid shit. And then like near the end, he's like, "You're not man enough for this bike." But then like 2 minutes later, he's like, "You're man enough for this bike. Here, take it off."
And run away.
And you just fucking run away.
I guess the point is, it's supposed to turn when he says that he doesn't want this life and he wants to do something else. So I guess that gets him seeing, oh, he wants to be his own man sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's that well done because it's very quick and very fast. So I get what I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, I mean, it's if they spent more time on it, maybe he would have actually seemed like a real character. But he fits along with every other character in this movie, and that like any conversation that people are having doesn't really feel like a conversation two people are having.
No.
It's just like really poor writing. It's like they just wrote down like essentially like a placeholder for like what this conversation is going to be, and they're like, so let's ship it, let's see what happens, instead of like actually having like interesting dialogue. And that combined with, I thought the guy who acting as the father was pretty bad. I mean, I think that for everyone, so I'm not going to say that a million times, but it's just all these things that combine together that made me not really care about that character. And then when he dies in like 20 minutes, like, okay, well, I have no attachment to this character. Why would I? He doesn't really make sense. Okay, I guess we're moving on to the next section of this movie. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I felt.
For me, acting, I was saying that. I was trying to stop saying that because it's kind of that whole way through. But I thought it got its job done. I liked that it was quick enough. And I feel like that is a huge 2000s superhero thing. That's why I was a little surprised when we did Blade, and I kind of forgot about that. You don't really get a full-on origin. It's kind of told you here and there, but there's not like a chunk. But like every other movie we've got, and especially like we're gonna do Daredevil next, there's a chunk they were obsessed and you kind of always had to do the origin of it, right? So I like that it was 20 minutes, and I like his origin is pretty basic, so that's why I don't know how you could have spread out longer. I guess you could if you had better. That's why maybe you could do it in a TV show. A better relationship or better written relationship with the father and son, but in this incarnation I didn't want to see more than 20 minutes of it, right? That's
I wouldn't want to either. I mean, I didn't want to see anything.
But then at the same time, I don't know, because I like that part maybe the most because I thought, okay, it's kind of folklore and whatnot, because the rest of the movie is just I don't know, it's
I guess
a hot mess.
Because the thing is, they call back to stuff with the dad, right? Like obviously he does that helicopter jump because that was his dad's dying wish.
His dad only said one helicopter though. He didn't have to.
Yeah, he didn't say 20.
No, he just said let's replace a car with a helicopter.
Mm-hmm. And then I mean, obviously there's some dynamic of the devil is in this movie, and then his son is also in this movie.
Blackheart.
You can compare that to Johnny Blaze and his dad. And there's supposed to be some there, but didn't really care much for it. And then I also, the love interest in this movie is pretty much the most shallow character you can have in any movie, really. It's just very bare bones, and especially in that opening sequence, she doesn't really have anything. I don't know. She doesn't really have any character.
No,
I guess.
Taylor, you have anything more to say on the origin there?
No, I thought it was a good origin. I didn't find it boring at all. I thought as soon as the devil popped up, it was very eerie. I liked how the little hints that they threw in there, when the lightning flashed and Johnny looks to the side, you see his demonic shadow. I thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And I just liked how he was just very much
I thought it seemed weird, this fucking guy's hey, would you want to ride for me someday? And I don't know why he didn't just say, dude, get the fuck out of here. I don't know why he entertained talking with this guy, letting him walk around his shop.
This devil seemed a little horny at times. I don't understand why when he was walking to the circus tent, why he had to explode all those light bulbs.
I don't think he was exploding them. I think it was just, well, I'm not a devil or a demon, but usually whenever a devil or a demon's walking around, electricity kind of just hits the fan.
How do you know this?
Well, it happens in horror movies.
I don't think it's in all horror movies.
There's a fair amount of horror movies.
I don't know, yeah. Caught me off guard a little. So we got the origin there. The only thing I would say about the origin that I didn't make sense. So, the plan is he's riding with his dad. They're doing these shows, and then her dad is wanting to ship her off to boarding school or something.
No,
like that.
send her to her mom's.
Okay, send her to her mom. So
Johnny's not good for her.
Yeah, Johnny's not a good guy. So that is, and then that's the other thing too. You can find an origin. Maybe show us some reason why, maybe just because he's a bike rider, but maybe show that he is a little piece of shit kid who's gonna grow up.
I don't think it's based on a piece of shit. It's just this kid is just a carny, not going anywhere.
I guess, but they should go on that a bit more, right? Not just oh, my dad thinks you're bad, whatever. Say oh, it's because he thinks you're gonna amount to nothing. Is it thinks because you're poor or something?
We never said. She never said it's because oh, my dad thinks you're a piece of shit or whatever. It's
she says a comment about you're not good for me.
No, she said that.
Future with you.
I'm too good for you or whatever.
That's the same thing as saying
you shit, but just that's I'm sure any typical father would be no guy is good for my daughter kind of thing.
Well, if your dad thinks like that, you're a piece of idiot. You're short-sighted. So they're supposed to meet up at this tree. They have this tree, J&R forever. They have this tree. They're gonna meet up and run away together. So after I guess we didn't talk about that. So he makes a deal with the devil. His dad has cancer.
You're someone makes the deal.
Yeah,
very cheesy.
That wouldn't hold up. That would not hold up in a court of law. Well,
no.
Actually, in Geever's Gauntlet, some of those contracts are kind of like that, So I shouldn't speak. And the Hunka guys, that's exactly how we signed our contract. They got us looking at it.
We haven't actually signed anything.
They just picked our blood, and that'll do. So he has. I guess I'm giving you a mini description if you haven't seen this movie. His dad has cancer. The devil, of course, walks in. He needs a rider. He makes this deal that Which we'll get into the devil. They don't explain him that well.
What's to explain? He's the devil.
Why does he need like a rider? You know, like why? Like what
they covered that in the whole intro part with Carter Slade.
But like the limitations on the rider and what they can do. Like I've not read much Ghost Rider comics, but I've always felt like it's a bit better explained there.
Just from what we know, the devil has only got a certain limited amount of power on Earth, and they hint at that in Spirit of Vengeance too. Like he can only do so much. He's got power, but he can't do a lot. That's why he wasn't able to do a lot against Blackheart. But that's why he has the rider to do his bidding for him.
Yeah,
he's the devil's bounty hunter.
Then why can the sun have like a limited power on Earth? Maybe he's like same bloodline, right? We'll get to that.
I don't know if bloodlines work with demons because they're spiritualistic and stuff. I feel like with the sun, he's just an entirely different entity and demon with his own powers and everything. So, I don't know, some demons can walk the earth and others can't, you know. Not that I know.
That's fine.
Well, who's the mom in this situation? Because that could really affect
Shmi. Damn it. But anyways, we'll get into that. It's comics. I can look past that. So, he has cancer, makes a deal to get rid of his cancer, and of course, you know, classic Bedazzled. The guy ends up the dad ends up dying, and then the devil has this big like fucking speech with Johnny about how you're gonna be the rider, I'm gonna need you one day, and forget the people you love. So of course, classic movie, Johnny decides, I can't be the woman I love. So he decides to drive by the tree while Roxanne's there. He stops.
Yeah,
it's raining, pouring. Yeah, gives her like just this look, and then bikes away.
To be fair, his dad just died, and she had the biggest smile on her face.
She doesn't know that.
How could she know that?
How could she back then? She wasn't there.
She was out at the tree.
Yeah, she's waiting for him. There's no cell phones back then.
She was there for the whole day.
Maybe
she didn't go to the show.
I kind of
okay, but what's your proof that she knew that the dad was dead? Don't give us flack if you don't have any proof either.
Well, she could have reached out to him sooner.
There's no phone.
She's not gonna.
They had phones back.
Either way, let's. I'm gonna assume because this character's supposed to love Johnny that she didn't know his dad was dead, and she would just be sitting there smiling. Why would he just stop? Like, why did he make a point to go there and look at her and then just drive away?
It's like one last
because
look.
He didn't want the devil to know about this connection. Actually, the devil knows everything.
Yeah,
one last look.
One last look.
No, it wasn't the last.
I don't know. I thought that was extremely lame.
It's pretty BM of him.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Yeah,
not very cool.
I didn't mind the whole intro origin story, the whole charade or whatever. I thought the devil kind of coming into play, I thought it was very cool. Just the build up to it, just when I was little and watching this is, like, everyone has their Spider-Man, everyone has their Batman. For me, this was like my Ghost Rider. I thought, if I could be a superhero, this would be a...
This is my Batman Spider-Man.
The downside is this movie, as a kid, is very influential. It's like, sell your soul to be Ghost Rider. It's like, you don't want to teach kids to do that, because I was like, I want to be the Ghost Rider. How do I sell my soul? I don't want to... That's borderline, like, not good for kids to watch.
Borderline.
Yeah. But
I mean, it's not like
but it teaches them a moral lesson. Don't talk to strangers.
Don't let strangers into your bike hut.
Because, really, his deal was a shit deal all around. Because there's a chance, yes, his dad was sick and it could have gone down a bad path. But even with his dad having cancer, he could have got months with him at least, before things got really bad.
He's an emotionally compromised 17-year-old.
I know, but no matter what, his dad was going to die. He didn't
know that, though.
No, but
he
didn't.
How are you going to heal it? And he's like, that's not important. What's important is your dad will be alive.
No, I'm not saying that he didn't know that. I'm just saying that it was such a shit deal because... In retrospect, I should have just let him have cancer because he could at least had some time.
But then again, he was reading the contract over. He wasn't going to sign it because he was like, how about your soul? And he spins the chair around like, yeah, right. And then he's going over with, he wasn't like going to sign. It was his thumb dragging over the top and paper cut.
The fact that he'd even consider this though,
Well, if someone throws a contract in front of you, you're at least going to read the terms and conditions.
No, this guy I've never met. He just goes, hey, I can cure your dad's cancer.
Yeah,
like the fucking 70s.
You know how flattering he was though?
He wasn't. He was creepy as hell. This is a guy that
greatest show on earth.
This is a guy that comes up and has to go neighbor because he's a registered sex offender. Because I'm sorry, the vibe he's giving off is not It's not scary at all. It's creepy in a weird sort of way. He's always just
he's been known to touch people.
Every line he says should be followed by him licking his lips. He's fucking weird. Okay, so get out of the origin. Let's talk about the man himself, the myth, the legend, Johnny Cage. Nick Cage. Playing Mortal Kombat. Nick Cage playing Johnny Blaze. What do we feel about this, and what do we feel about the character? I guess we can talk about Ghost Rider 2 in general as far as that character goes.
You go.
I love how, like, at least with Ghost Rider, he felt like he was a possessed entity in Nick Cage. I felt like it wasn't Ghost Rider was Nick Cage or was Johnny Blaze. I felt like when Ghost Rider took over, it was this possessed demon, corrupted possessed demon that was just in control doing its own thing. And I loved that. I thought it was great to see the difference between the two. I love Nick Cage in this. It's one of my favorite Nick Cage movies. He's just so fantastic. I love him with the martini glass of jelly beans. And when the monkey's on the TV and is laughing.
Oh,
it's so...
I like that scene too.
No.
It was so bad.
I'm gonna cut you off right now. I'm sorry.
That was a great scene.
No.
You guys tried to talk to him.
Yeah, that's something you're gonna know. I feel this is a case of, from what I've read of Johnny Blaze and Ghost Rider, this is a character serving the actor instead of the actor serving the character. I feel like Nick Cage does not match what this movie needed. Like, they a few times try to make it seem like he's this torn individual because he has a demon side of him, but Nick Cage is so kooky and he acts so kooky it doesn't fit. Johnny to me kind of just comes off as like a goof in this movie and stuff like that. Like, he comes off like he's not intelligent. And that was the thing. I do agree with you that Ghost Rider does feel like he's the demon, but that was the problem. I don't think they really give the Ghost Rider any motivation until like the last 20 minutes when they kidnap her. The rest of the time, he's just becoming Ghost Rider and he's just wandering the city, and they don't even talk about like he's just at one point he just goes to fight like Blackheart's like his minions. They don't even explain it. He just goes there and it's like, but why? You know, like, because the devil's making him do it, but that doesn't make sense because he doesn't seem like he's with the devil.
What do you mean, like, why he's going there?
Why is he doing anything this
Well,
way?
it's because the devil popped up and gave him the order, I want you to kill Blackheart. And so
but then where's the turning point to why he won't take orders later on?
Well, it was because he learned how to own his power. He learned how to, instead of being possessed, he learned how to possess the possession.
I feel like everything we've seen as far as stuff like the Hulk and things like that does not get shown at all in this movie. It's maybe a sentence,
Wait,
a scene,
do it with Hulk.
And I don't even think but I mean, like, Bruce Banner tries to find a way, like, I'm always angry, right? Like, you see something, this literally just feels like because his girl gets kidnapped, oh, I can control it all of a sudden, you know? Like,
yeah, but it's like Spider-Man, you know, he lost his powers, but as soon as Mary Jane got kidnapped in Spider-Man 2, she's like, ugh. You know, his fist for shit.
That was not fully it, though. That was him not believing himself and believing that Spider-Man...
Well, now he is believing himself.
No, yeah, but I mean, they do that the entire whole movie of he doesn't believe himself. How can he become Spider-Man? He stops being Spider-Man. This is his motivation. Ghost Rider is just like this fucking monster the whole time, and then like one thing happened. He's like, I'm Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. I'm Johnny Blaze.
When the cops are trying to pop off on him, and he like sees Eva Mendes, and his flame turns blue, and Blackheart's like, we found his weakness.
Yeah, I know, but I'm still saying that, like, why later on again he's Ghost Rider in the prison just messing people up, and
he's surrounded by evil. All that dark vibes around him just trigger him.
I guess I just feel like, for me, with the villain with the devil and the Ghost Rider having very few interactions and just being, go kill these people. And I don't understand why he would go kill these people, especially at the end when he decides, like, he figured out so he can control being Ghost Rider, and then he just says, I'm not giving you the power back. Like, I feel like that's one of the weakest parts of this movie. I never understood, like, why should I care about what Ghost Rider's doing? It's
a contract.
But he's fighting for a bad guy, but they've not done enough. Like, he's not even going to get free, as far as they've said in this movie.
He couldn't even take his hands off the motorbike, because the devil's like, you're under contract.
Then why should I care about this character who's just like an AI, pretty much, just doing stuff? Like, he has no motivation, and he has nothing for me to gleam onto, because it's not Johnny.
Well, it's like Bruce Banner, you know, he doesn't have motivation, but he's just forced to.
But the difference is we see a struggle with him and Hulk. Nick Cage is fucking, like, laughing while he's turning into Ghost Rider.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But, like, I don't... And, like, the thing is, the second he goes back to Nick Cage, he's reading books, he's doing stuff, and he's, like, joking. He's like, oh, I get a little hot, you know? Like, not, like... I don't feel there's that moment of, like, I need to... Like, how can I not be Ghost Rider? How can I stop this? Like, I don't want to be killing people. He's just, like, cool with everything that's happening. And
well, Carter Slade was, like, good balance for him, too. Kind of let him in, you know, this is this and this is this. Like, there's no way out of it until you do this kind of thing.
Wow. Yeah, I just could not invest that.
This is this.
I could not invest in the story until Eva gets kidnapped, and even then we'll wait till the finale. But that's completely lame set piece as well. And I do feel like Nick Cage is not a good suit for this. It's great you got a Ghost Rider tattoo, Nick, but I don't think he fit this. I think they got the Ghost Rider movie going, and then they started writing the role for Nick Cage because he was interested in it, and they made him kind of kooky. And I don't think so. I think there should have been much more of a struggle if I'm turning this inner hell demon, and even stuff like when he's in the mirror going like like it just none of it played for me, none of it worked for me. Yeah. I will shout though, in that scene when he's in the mirror, Nick Cage looking great. He's fucking jacked in that scene. So yeah, that's what I feel about Ghost Rider.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any other perception of Ghost Rider. It's the only Ghost Rider I've ever known. So for me, I don't know. I guess him acting weird and kooky. I guess I was fine with it because that was the only thing about this movie that I was really enjoying. So even though it was weird, and once again it didn't really feel like it was writing for an actual person or like a realistic character. I don't know. I was still having fun with it. Like I really liked that monkey scene when he's just laughing at the TV.
Good.
I don't know. He's kind of weird because he starts out kind of. It's like as he's becoming more one with Ghost Rider, he becomes even crazier. Because I feel like when he's when you first get introduced to him, he's like pretty quiet when he's doing the stunts as like an adult. Like he doesn't do the interviews, and he's like kind of sitting in the corner while like other people are like playing games and stuff.
Very low key.
But as he like progresses into like the insanity of Ghost Rider, and he's like not really understanding what's going on. He keeps waking up this weird ranch with the narrator from Big Lebowski, and it's like he becomes more and more crazy. And I don't know. I thought it fit for the character because I feel like Ghost Rider just by nature, like the fact that he's a skeleton's just on fire. Like I feel like it's pretty cheesy stuff in general. I mean, a lot of comic book stuff is, but I feel like this one's extra cheesy. So. I don't know, why not put Nick Cage there and I hand it out, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that should be the motivation.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I've never read a Ghost Rider comic, and
Yeah.
I probably never will, so.
Never say never.
No, I just find the whole Nick Cage, the way he just portrays it, I love how he gets more insane. It was just fantastic. With his scenes that I'll go into, I love how his first change scene when he's on the bike, and the music picks up. And it's like that operatic, what would be the term for it? It's like, when he's in that factory and it's playing that, like, the vocals, it's very much, like, opera-like, and it's just very, like...
I don't know the music.
Dang, it's very just cool. And as it's changing, that Ghost Rider theme kicks in, and he starts laughing, because at first when he's just, like, screaming in pain, then he starts to laugh, and his skin is, like, peeling off and burning off and everything. The slow anticipation and change of him turning into Ghost Rider, I absolutely love. That scene will never get old for as long as I live. It is so good. I love it. I wish so badly that he looked like the Ghost Rider from Spirit of Vengeance, because I love how that Ghost Rider looks so much more. Don't get me wrong. I do love, like, the clean-cut skull, super white and everything, but the lines...
Super what?
Super white. His skull. Just being clear on that. But, no, I like right away his one-liners when he walks out to see Blackheart, and Blackheart's like, "Sup?" And he's like, "You're going down." "I don't think so." Like, he's so confident and stuff. I love that. And,
he's so confident. Most of his lines were...
I like the scene, not Ghost Rider scene, but Nick Cage scene when he's in the dressing room and he just picks up a whole pot of coffee and just chugs it straight out of the coffee machine.
That was pretty good. What else was there? His, every time he changed into Ghost Rider, it was just fantastic. And I really love the prison scene when all the guys are jumping on him and he starts getting more freaked out, and they jump on him, and the guy... I love reveals like that in movies, when they do, like, someone has, like, a superpower, or someone makes their big reveal out for the first time, or something like that. It's super cool. Like when Green Goblin made his reveal in like that circus scene in the first Spider-Man, that's one of my favorite superhero movie scenes. I just love stuff like that. So in the prison scene, when the whole public when not the whole public, but the prisoners got to see him change, and they're freaking out, and then the cops see him, like, on the run. I just love that so much. It's so amazing. And I love when he goes off the bridge, and he just gives the bird to the cops or whatever, and he goes off, and the cop's like, up! The suspect is going up, and he's going up the roof, or the side of the building, pulling like a Batman Forever stunt with the Batmobile, and
just like Batman. Yep, same movie.
But even the scene too, I'm just on a rant here. There's so many good things. But when he's on the roof and he's like, he wraps his chain around the helicopter and pulls it in, he's like, "You're pissing me off." It's so good. And the guy's like, by the way. Well, he wasn't gonna hurt the guy. The guy's like,
"I'm flew their helicopter around like a rag doll, and you're telling me he's not trying to hurt people?"
He knew it was gonna be fine. If he wanted to kill the guy, he would have swung it down to the building.
He does not know that though. Something bad.
He knew. Yeah. Otherwise, he wouldn't have just he gave the guy a warning, like, "You're pissing me off." And the guy's like, "I'm sorry."
You did the line read once.
But then I just following that when the guy's like, "Ryder, you can't catch the wind," and he's like,
"It's so bad."
All you see is the Ghost Rider change his whip and spin around. Then he's just like, "Ha!" He's laughing, and the guy's like, "No!" It's so good.
Sorry, audio listeners. The way he killed, that's what I think. It's literally all his goons. They come up, Ghost Rider tries to kill him, it doesn't work, and then it takes 5 seconds for Ghost Rider to figure out, oh, this guy's wind, oh, I'll just make a train out. This guy's water, I'll just overheat him. So like they always like, we got you now, and then now he just figures out, and no problem whatsoever. Every single
those
fucking
goons
time.
were pretty fucking lame. I mean, the one guy was like the world's greasiest human being the whole time, just so nasty. The rest of them were just. One was like some weird vampire or something. I don't know.
Well, they all had like demonic pointy teeth. The Rock guy, I don't know. Ghost Rider didn't even fail at killing him at all. He just punched him, tore off half his face with the punch, and then just whipped his chain around. Which I love how Ghost Rider. It's one of my favorite things. Anything he touches turns into GR mode. Like, it's sick. I love that.
GR mode.
GR mode.
Using Ghost Rider mode?
Yeah.
Duh.
I never ever hear that expression in my life ever again. GR mode. That's like in a game, they make a Ghost Rider game, and then if you hit right trigger,
I think
activate GR mode. There is.
For Xbox, right?
I haven't played it, but apparently I
get that. But
there's GR mode.
The other time when he's riding the Carter sleigh, 2 Ghost Riders at the same time. Now that's one Ghost Rider I can barely handle.
Pointless.
But 2 Ghost Riders? No.
Yeah,
nice.
Fantastic.
So
it's the wallpaper.
So yeah, Sam Elliott, who in this movie, I remember this the first time I watched it, and it still stays true. I cannot fucking understand him half the time. Like, people complain about Bane or like Venom coming up. I do not know.
He's the one who narrates those Ford commercials, right?
Rider. Yeah. The Rider. Ram. I understand those. This, and I didn't have subtitles. I did not understand.
I kind of liked the character a bit because it seemed like he was a spiritual successor to his character in The Big Lebowski. So to me,
look how he ended up.
He's a cowboy. He talks the exact same. He's very ambiguous with everything he's saying. It's like, what are you on right now, dude?
What was his point when he's just like, oh, I'm ready to ride one last time? And then get the scene where it's cool, he goes in the flame, and he says, oh, can you keep up? The horse keeps flame. It's like 2 minutes, they're all riding together, and they get to the point of destination. This is my stop. What the fuck?
Yeah,
clearly they did not have enough in the budget to pay Sam Elliott for like an action scene.
I'm okay with not seeing 2 Ghost Riders fight, though.
But why? The world is at stake. This guy, Blackheart, has literally said he could take over the world city by city. This guy's This guy's whole life has been hiding and protecting this scripture, and then when it all could go to shit, and he doesn't know, I'm out. The most crucial time in his adventure as Ghost Rider, I'm good. You know, it's like in Return of the Jedi, you know, when they go to Endor with the Ewoks and Luke goes up to see Vader, if they're like, okay, you're gonna go see Vader, and Luke was like, I'm good, and he like went back to Tatooine and left the rest of them. Like, okay, they succeeded, but like Luke's a little bitch. That's what this guy does. One last ride, and then epic scene, and then no, I'm gone.
No, I think it's just he was more or less literally just a spirit that was left. That was all he was, and he had probably enough strength to do one last ride. But his mission,
Fuck off. You're making that up. There's no way. There's no way. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna believe that this did not demonic possession gets old age. I'm not gonna believe that. Just because he is, I'm not gonna believe, oh man, the writer, the Phantom Rider must be getting old, so he can only ride one last time.
Well, you know,
it's like bullshit.
It's like one of those things where, you know, you help someone and guide them and teach them to the point, but you don't give them the answer and like finish it off with them.
This is not the answer though. This is the state of the world.
Yeah.
You gotta risk it all.
If Nick Cage dies, it's over. You know why? Because the Phantom Rider is going off to fucking Wichita.
Oh, he's going to Wichita.
Who gives a shit where he's going? He's not going Nick Cage.
But I don't know. I just feel like, you know, they got to the end of the line. And
no,
hear me out. Hear me out.
That's at the end of the line.
Hear me out.
110% for him. He did his duty and he did his job. He kept the scroll hidden. He gave it over to Nick Cage. Hear me out.
No.
He knew that Nick Cage was ready and was going to succeed and handle it.
Wrong. His job was not to keep the scripture. His job was to give that to the devil. He took on a new job, so he can make that job whatever he sees fit. He's the boss. So him helping save the world, I think, would qualify in like hiding the scripture.
Well, that's... Hang on, say it again.
Okay, so his job, remember the movie they set up, was to get the names, right?
Yeah.
And bring back the devil, and he knew that the devil could just fuck shit up if he got this, so he took it himself. So he gave himself a job to protect this script. The script is still in danger at the moment, and he decides to leave. Mm-hmm. Job failed. GTA, mission failed. He's a terrible Ghost Rider.
No, he's terrible.
He is!
He chose to keep the
I kind of feel like that's the role of the writers in this movie. They're supposed to protect the script, but they really didn't.
He gave the scroll over to Johnny because he has a professional Ghost Rider. He knew
Professional Ghost
I know I'm the street vendors. I'm a professional.
He knew that Johnny was ready and Johnny would handle it fine.
He didn't know that though. He can't see the
that.
future. Yeah, you think he knew that. The character was dumb. It didn't make any sense, and for him to do that big ride scene,
He had no strength for one last ride.
yeah, him to do this big ride scene, and then right before battle, that's it, I'm done. Like that's complete BS.
That end scene where he's riding, I have the song "Ghost Riders in the Sky" downloaded on my phone. It's a sick song, but honestly, when he is walking up and Johnny, what did Johnny say? He's like,
"Fuck this movie."
Carter Slade. And he walks up and he like nods his head and he turns to the Ghost Rider. It's so badass. And then he's like, "Can you keep up?" And then the horse changes and the music is slowly kicking in. So good. And then it just transitions and they're going, that gecko gets fried and they're just going for it. Oh my god. Both of them and the music kicking in. It's one of my favorite scenes that I've seen in a superhero movie of all time. It's just so good.
Wow.
Honestly. And I love when they get there and I love when Johnny just like in the darkness, like his like shotgun turns into like GR Shoddy and like just
GR Shoddy coming to Kelowna this fall.
I don't know, there's so much Ghost Rider stuff in this movie of just Johnny and Nick Cage just portraying. I loved it so much and it's just fantastic. I love when he's like all those, what does he say? All those not all those people, all those souls. He like changes or whatever. I love that when it's like he just looks into your eye and just eats your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Penance stare.
The penance stare, yes.
You know who has the penance stare? Eva Mendes playing Roxanne. Let's talk about her and honestly we'll combine this. Can join this with the love story. This is pretty bad. From start to finish, it starts off very terribly as far as the whole, okay, they're gonna run away together, but like I said, I did not like the in the rain scene where he just drives off okay. And then, so they jump, it's supposed to be 20, 25 years later, who knows, big age gap between them two, you know, they're supposed to be the same age, when they jump to adulthood, does not look like that at all. The scene where they meet again makes zero sense, because when he sees her down the hall, she's like really smiling and happy to see him, But then when she approaches him and they start talking, it seems like she's kind of mad at him. And then in the interview, it literally goes back and forth, scene of her being like kind of embarrassed and maybe, happy to see Johnny, and then also annoyed, and not just because the interview isn't going well, just because these guys have no fucking clue what they're doing with this movie. So I feel like she's all over the map in this movie, and there's never a place for her until she's the damsel in distress, and then okay, they love each other, then he leaves her again.
So you say at the beginning she was happy, and then she was mad about it, or
yeah, and then, it kept going back
she
and
was
forth.
Embarrassed, right?
Yeah, and then it kept going back and forth.
Okay, so here's a good example for you. So it's like if you were to you break up.
I want to see him string this one together.
So you break up in a relationship. And you
no.
You've heard many times when you're like, hear me out. I'm using my one, hear me out. This is my one, hear me out.
Okay.
This is my one, hear me out. So you break up, and then obviously there's your ex, and you end up going back to your ex all of a sudden, and you have a great moment when you sleep together. You're happy about it, and then you wake up and then you're angry. You're like, oh no, what did I do? You're angry, and then after you're embarrassed. I feel like it's a generic thing that happens.
You're completely lying about what happens in this movie. They didn't know. When you try the relationship analogies, they did not work. They're my friend. Okay, they did not.
All this happens in a course of 30 seconds.
Yeah, your example takes place over weeks or maybe even at least a day. This is years, and then also 30 seconds in the actual meeting. And the thing is, they didn't just break up. They didn't have a mutual, we're gonna. They had planned to run away together. She literally had 2 suitcases in the middle of the rain, and he just drove fucking past her. I'm sorry, if I say to a girl, we're gonna run away together, and she says yes, and then she drives by on a fucking motorcycle on in the rain, fuck that bitch. Never see me again.
Even if her dad died?
What?
If she drives by, you'd still say fuck that bitch even if her dad died?
Yes, because I would feel like maybe the Ghost Rider stuff, sure, you gotta deal with it. But I would feel like if you love that person, that could be the ultimate person who could console you. But either way, take that out. They left you in a terrible way. It's been 20 years. I think the first thing I see, I'm gonna smile. And then, like I said, you be like, oh, you had sex. They didn't have sex. She just walked over and said, hi, and then they did an interview together. An interview is not sex. So it doesn't make any sense. And even in the interview, though, my problem is, it's not like that where she was happy, mad, and then after the interview embarrassed. She kept going through all those emotions during the interview, which was awkward. I know they were trying to do that, but it was so awkward in like a real world sense, it took me out. Like, she asked 3 questions, he just goes, and then like, oh, what you gonna do today? And then he just goes like, yes, and she's like, oh, great, thanks for the insight. You couldn't use that on fucking TV. I don't know, so like, it was so preposterous that it actually still even took me out of just the film world. So yeah. Hated that. Did not understand.
Well, she said she was going to edit it, so it's the same thing on TV.
Edited. He says yes. He literally just says yes. He says one word. And they treat her like shit as a female character. When she's getting stood up and she's asking random, fucking losers, am I pretty or not? Fuck off.
And that just shrugs, like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like,
What
this
is
is
this
some
scenario?
of the worst, portrayal of women ever, because she even is a fucking babe. She's gorgeous, and I know girls and guys can doubt themselves, but you still know enough to know where you are on the fucking food chain, and for her just to be...
Well, maybe he was gay. We don't know the later story.
No, but for her to go to that guy and say, oh, am I pretty?
She was drunk, though. She went through the whole bottle.
It doesn't matter. With that, just her pleading, just acting so desperate throughout this movie. It was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, and I hated this whole romance. They had zero Zippo chemistry. It was brutal. There were scenes and everything together. So when he has to go save her, I'm like, just let her die, because I don't give a fuck about this. Even the bike scene when he's trying to woo her on the fucking road, nothing worked in this movie. Nothing at all. As far as most stuff. But as far as a romance, I can't shout out one good thing. One good thing.
I don't know. I enjoyed the romance. I thought it worked. I thought as soon as they popped back together, I thought they had the chemistry. I thought that, I loved how he stopped them on the road and everything. I loved how they, I just loved how they got along and bounced off each other. I thought it was great. Eva Mendes is definitely absolutely up there, you know, for actresses. She's very attractive.
Okay, I was not sure where you going. Yeah, because you.
Is she a great actress or is she attractive?
You were doing she was in the interview. I didn't know where you were going.
But yeah, no, I think her character was great and strong. I thought it was awesome when she walked out with a shotgun and she was like firing and like when she ran out of ammo.
Why was her character great though?
Without her, we don't get that emotional development from Nick Cage.
Okay.
Yeah. But, like, she was the clickbait that Johnny had to fall for. Because Blackheart took her away.
What a great character. She just clicked it.
I don't know why. I feel kind of bad now that you guys say, like, she was treated like shit in that restaurant scene. I found it really funny. I feel like if you swap the roles and it was a guy, I'd still find it equally funny.
If you put Nick Cage in there, I would believe the things he's saying. Because he's not a fucking babe. But anytime you put a female in there, and a good-looking female, like, it just got, like, that's the problem with exactly what you said. Why is she in there? She's literally there just to be the damsel of distress. She's there to be, okay, now you'll finally control being Ghost Rider. That's it, you know? Like, and maybe that's supposed to be, they're hoping they would have chemistry and that could go past all this, like, bad writing, but it doesn't. So for me, it is just like, she's just there to be saved. Like, that's a big trope back then, so I get it, but, like, that's why another thing that's wrong with this movie.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this exact same character a million times, and this one's combined with just like really poor writing in every scene. Like I forget who it was she was talking with. I think it was like the friend,
his best friend.
His
that
best
gets
friend.
killed off.
They have
like,
a conversation that like it's as if neither of them was talking to each other. Like it was so poorly written. It didn't make any sense. The conversation would just. It was like something out of like Oblivion, which is just like a meme because of how bad the conversations are in that game.
I didn't feel like the friend had, like, I felt like Johnny was just there doing his own thing, but the friend, I feel like the friend was just an acquaintance, but the friend thought he was there on this serious level, like, he turns the TV off, like, we need to talk about, you know, your religious activities here and stuff like that, waving the books around.
But we don't got enough of them to know if he is just an acquaintance or he's just a friend.
I feel like I got
either way.
enough, because he's just,
But then you could say for the friend's perspective, he's giving him personal life and everything, and he's the one that eggs her to go, like, to the girl and everything like that. He's looking out for him. He's not being, like, he's not being a joke, like, he's not being an asshole. Even though I think at one moment, it's weird though, because he really wants Johnny to be saved, but then when Johnny gets when he goes into prison, he's like, oh, we gotta get rid of this because, like, he's kind of our meal ticket. He doesn't say meal ticket, but he says something like that. So I think they go back and forth. Is he like a piece of shit kind of manager guy, or is he his friend? Because he acts like both ways several times, where he's looking out for him, but then he also seems a little selfish. And then he just gets fucking killed like nothing. Like nothing on screen. Like, not that he's a big character, but it's just boom, dead, and okay, fine. And Nick Cage never learns about that or cares, so, you know, that's cool.
Well, he's under a lot of stress.
Yeah.
A lot of stress.
What do you think about Eva Mendes, though?
I pretty much just said it, like, this character is as flat as you can possibly be. There's no intrigue there. She doesn't have a single good scene, and it's just like, I don't know, all the cheesy, like, callbacks to that opening segment never really worked for me because that opening segment was so boring in itself, right? So they're calling back to this scene where, like, in the scene you're talking about where he just drives away, like, her facial reactions that whole time are so poor, and then we see it, like, at least twice, maybe a third time throughout this movie, where, yeah, like, her reaction just, I couldn't really tell what her reaction was. It was just like, it was her first time on set, which, you know, maybe it was, and, like, good for her for making it in a big movie or something, but...
Big movie.
But, no, like, honestly, I wish I had something to say about the character, but there's no meat and potatoes there. It's just an empty plate, so...
Let's talk about Blackheart and the Devil, and I'll also talk about the Goons a little bit, so if you have anything more to add on them, you can't hear, but let's talk about those two specifically.
Oh, Blackheart, he was, I liked his entrance with the lava rain, that was pretty cool, and I love when he walks up to that guy and he's like, I can't remember exactly what he said, like, hey pretty boy, only angels in there, or something like that, and Blackheart's like, angels? Really? And then he just fucking kills him. Like,
I have that in my notes. I hate that when
the classic Taylor versus Travis. I love when he does. I hate that. And I'm just like, I don't care. It's bad.
Oh man,
Oh man.
did I do?
He does that a few times, like that poor farmer guy too.
Oh.
He just like kills him.
And then, so he says about the angels, and then the big bartender guy's like, "You got a problem with that?" And then like he grabs by the throat. He's like, "Matter of fact." He's like, "Actually, matter of fact." And he grabs him, and he kills him, and he drops him, and he says, "I do." It was like a full 30 seconds later after he said, "I do."
It's classic.
What you should do is, matter of fact, and then you grab him, "I do," and then you kill him. You think?
He forgot the line. And then he eventually remembered. They're like, you know what? That works.
Oh,
Dramatic pause.
I got something like about the acting in this, which may be a reason, but Wes Bentley, very talented actor. American Beauty, watch it. One of the what?
Nothing.
One of the what were you still going?
I don't know this guy, so I've seen him in this movie and doesn't have a great track record.
Watch American Beauty, great actor there. He's good in Interstellar. He's good in American Horror Story. The writing's kind of poor in that show, but he can be a good actor. This is, I don't know if we'd have to wait till a point till we finished every Marvel film like we did with the MCU, and maybe we wouldn't rank it adjacent to the MCU, but we do like the Marvel ranking show of ranking the movies that are not in the MCU. As far as villains, I think this is one of the worst films ever. Before I just thought he was forgettable, but when I watched this again, it was brutal, and there's just one moment where he's talking to his dad, and the amount of eyebrow movement he has, like, "Well, father, it's my time now, so I want more of it." And like this is so here's one thing which I won't read on too much because I was looking at the trivia, and he was saying in an interview at one point there was a slew of movies that he did while he had a big cocaine addiction, and he did movies just to pay for his addiction, and this was one of them, and you can completely fucking tell, because he is off the fucking wall in this movie, and I feel bad. I don't feel bad, you know why? Because he's recovered now, he's doing really well, and good for Wes Bentley, good for changing your life around, but you can see that this guy's on high amounts of cocaine in this movie, because he is wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and he is all over, and the dialogue is
like that adds to the demon.
Oh, get off it.
That's why they cast him.
I don't know, when he's like talking to Satan, he's like, you're right on your most precious tricks. I will retire him, and then I will retire you.
It's the most generic, basic bitch dialogue with the basic bitch plan of he's gonna destroy the world, and he's just like evil for the sake of being evil. He feels like he's Dracula in like a 1960s movie. Like, there's no substance to him at all, and you sometimes hope that, okay, something like a Hela, to me, very basic character. We got some depth in there and they add some stuff, but it's because Cate Blanchett plays it so well that she does a good job. Same thing with Matt Mickelson, where I still feel like Casillas could have been better, but because he's so good, he brings it out. Where this, you're hoping that, okay, it's a basic villain, basic plot. At least the actor could maybe have some fun with it and make it memorable and fun and cheesy. You know, I think we had that with Blade 2, that with the people that liked it had that with the villain. This is just not memorable, and it's just kind of cringe-worthy at times. And anytime he's fighting with Ghost Rider, when Ghost Rider tries to do the penance stare, and he's like, he starts to laugh, like, like, doesn't work on me, Rider. Like, it's so bad. Like, he's just like mustache twirly, old school villain, and not in a good way. So yeah. And I already mentioned the devil. I think the devil's fine, but he's kind of comes off a little weird. Which if they want, then they got that. But yeah. That was a good impersonation, though.
Take it away, Dylan.
Take it away.
I feel bad. This is one of those casts where like this movie is giving me nothing to work with here, and like I feel very unprofessional because fuck this movie. Like I don't know. There's nothing to these characters. They're all exactly like the same description as I gave to Eva Mendes' character. There's nothing to them. Nick Cage is slightly better, but. You would hope so because he's supposed to be the star of the movie, but every other character is just the exact same, right? And I just didn't have any fun with like any of the scenes and any of the characters. Obviously, all the goons are super lame, but there also isn't really any sort of moments where you get like Blackheart and like his goons like talking or anything. It's always just like some scenes going on, and then like the water guy like seeps out of like a pile of shit on the floor or something. And then any scene with his father, like there's supposed to be that scene where it's like the big reveal. And it's like Blackheart is my son. You like don't know that earlier in the movie, or at least maybe I missed it or something. But
you don't know it. But it's not. I don't know.
I didn't think that far ahead, I guess.
Yeah.
And then this reveal happens, and I don't know. There's just like no weight to it, whatever. And then they don't have any memorable scenes either. I kind of Blackheart just kind of goes place to place. He goes fucks up that bartender for virtually no purpose whatsoever. I mean, I guess
that was their meeting spot.
They don't have to kill anybody though.
Yeah, dude, they're demons.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like that's like why just because he's a bad guy. It's like, okay, I guess if that's the depth you want for this movie, then that's appropriate.
I mean, there's
like,
a difference. Just like you have your bad guy who's like, let's say the Ghost from Ant-Man and Wasp. You know, you have your bad guy, but then you have your actual demons, your demonic demons who come back from hell.
And here's and I understand, like, you know, he goes up to that bartender. Bartender's kind of giving him some sass. Like, I could see like a guy like that who doesn't care about any human life. He could just kill him. That's fine. But then how about that like farmer dude who's just or like whatever that guy is
At the train station?
Yeah, just some dude chilling.
Yeah.
And he's like,
or the
hey
priest.
man, like,
well, the
I don't
priest,
want any trouble. Like, you can't really be here. And then he just like kills him as well. I don't know. Like, it's not like surprising for his character, but it just shows that like you could do whatever you want with these scenes and it's not going to matter because he's always going to be the same character. It doesn't like his scenes don't have an impact on how his character develops. He's just going to kill everything. And that's who he is. That's who he is. That's the character. You can explain it in 2 words.
I think it's just instigated with the train dude. I think if the train guy didn't say at the very end, "You really shouldn't be here," and then I think he wouldn't have killed him. He probably was like, "Don't tell me where I should."
Still not grounds.
Because he's like, "That's what they keep telling me."
But would it have made any difference had he not killed him? Right? Like it doesn't
that
matter.
Scene was not in the movie.
The thing is, like, all those scenes where he goes off and does stuff. I guess you maybe need 1 or 2 to like show who the character is, but really it doesn't matter because the trajectory of this, like, it's just all very predictable, obviously, right? Like there isn't any twists in this movie. I don't know. There really isn't any surprises, and they weren't trying to do any, and that's fine. But the result of that is that you have a villain who, just like the love interest, is just that. He's just a villain with nothing added on top.
Mm-hmm.
Just the entry level. Basic where you start with a villain, I guess, but they didn't decide to elevate it at all.
To answer your point where you said the priest or whatever, I think that's warranted because the priest was literally throwing insults with his verses and his cross and like provoking this guy in the church.
With his verses.
So the demon's obviously gonna go full demon mode, not just freeze him, but full demon mode and literally pop him because he's a priest using the word of God and which God didn't, not to bash God, but in this movie he really wasn't very productive, I should say. It was.
I mean, he's busy.
Yeah.
He's busy doing other stuff. He's a busy guy, that guy.
One last ride.
he's got enough strength.
He took us one last ride a few years ago.
The goons, I thought, they were great fillers to just other demons. I like how everything was a different element. I like how Ghost Rider was fire. And then you had, Blackheart, who was ice, and then you had
the shit monster,
Earth guy, water guy, and air guy. I liked all.
Yeah, I love it. It's like never been done before. It's very cool.
No,
it's fine.
I thought it was neat how he took them all out. He like burned up the ground and he like melted the air, and I like every demon just gets so confident that they got him, then he just 180s it and just like in the water especially too. He was so confident, and then he just got boiled to a singe, and he was
boil
like,
and mash him, stick him in a stew.
But there's
stick him in a shovel.
There's worse side characters.
No,
they're not dark elves.
No. They're equivalent.
Morrowind.
Yeah.
Has dark elves.
Dark elves are good in Morrowind and Elder Scrolls.
They're equivalent in Thor: Dark World. You can't make a case. I can't let you say if you were to say they're the same, fine. But I don't think you can make a case for them being better. I don't think there's no case
had
that
dialogue
one
and interaction. The Dark Elf in Thor: Dark World, all he did was like take a super steroid. And
that's like saying, "Oh, did you talk to anyone today?" And you're saying, "Oh yeah, I did," but they told me to go fuck themselves. But because I talked to them, it was a good day.
That's more dialogue though than.
Wait, you were talking to someone? They told you to go fuck themselves.
He's saying because these goons talk, it's a good thing. But if you have no interactions with anybody today, they go, "Oh, I guess it was a bad day." But I feel like that could be the equivalent or better if some random person came up to you and said, "Hey, today I feel good." Yeah, and then go fuck yourself, and then they walked away. So just because
I like your first example where they said go fuck themselves, and then it's just like they just come up to you and say, "Hey, fuck me, man, fuck me."
Is this a come on? Do you want me to fuck you? I don't know. I hated. Why did she have an 8-ball in the middle of dinner? She just brought.
What did you just
Eva
say?
Mendes when she was like
crystal
waiting
ball?
for Johnny. She just brought an 8-ball.
So good.
No.
I love how she
And
just
what-
looks around and just brings it out, and
Come on,
her
yeah.
face says it all.
She's
like,
so pathetic. It's really embarrassing. And why is she expecting a text back? Does she have his number? She hasn't seen him in 20 years.
I think she would have got his number.
Okay.
How? Where is she gonna get his number?
And
Maybe
why
they-
is she sticking around like in the news? Like she's not been back. She sticks around because there's some commotion going on. But that's not how it would work. The local news station would cover that.
Yeah, but she's obviously she was
What?
given. Okay, the
She's
station,
obviously what,
yeah,
Taylor?
the station
Go
gave
fuck
her-
themselves.
The station gave her the option to go pursue the story, and she's like, yeah, okay. So obviously it
Well,
shows
what
that
scene was that?
that was when she went to go get the story with Johnny when he was jumping the helicopter.
Yeah, that was the story, and then you should be coming back.
Yeah, and she was. She was obviously going back to her hotel, and she was gonna go back to wherever she came from. But
But then she's a
She
news
didn't,
guy, and
because
she has the microphone.
she does. She has the on-the-go equipment, which obviously states the fact that as a reporter that she's obviously in the field looking for these stories. She's given the option to pursue certain stories that she can take, or she's looking for.
But
the
we
next
don't
best
know
thing.
about that. No,
Because she's got all the
no.
gear and she's set up to be mobile in there, and she's got
That's
the
not
crew
how
with
it
her.
works.
That's how it works.
No,
yeah.
but they would say go, which I don't even know why they're gonna go. I guess because he's that famous, which is so stupid. But like, okay, go interview this biker, and then they'd say come back. They wouldn't say stick around and report on the
but if
local
she's obviously
news
getting,
about a
paid
police.
to stay in the hotel and everything. Obviously, she's
But
not
she
working. She's not working for a local like news broadcaster. She's obviously
Exactly.
looking for something that's more worldwide.
So
she's going off.
so she would be given probably a budget to go there, spend the night, come back the next day because you're covering the event.
Yes, but now
People,
if this event
if
happens,
ESPN sends reporters to the Super Bowl and then there's like a plane crash, they're not like, oh, stay and
But
cover
this
the plane
isn't
crash
ESPN,
too.
though. This isn't
But you don't know
ESPN.
what it is.
Yeah,
And
we
it could
don't.
no, it could be ESPN because she's going to a fucking sporting event, right? You don't know that's not a sports broadcasting network.
Pretty sure it's not a sports.
But do you know?
Do you know?
That wasn't me. Pretty sure it's not a sports broadcasting network.
That was you, wasn't
No,
it?
that wasn't me.
Was Dylan?
No.
Oh wow! 2 lines ago, show Ghost Rider says at one point he says tag back and he hits a person. Great. And then someone says show Mercy and he said sorry. All out of mercy.
That was Ground Ghost. That was the first thing he says. Mercy. Sorry. All out of mercy.
Yeah.
And then just takes him out.
And then shout out this was Rebel Wilson's film debut. So there you go.
Who?
Rebel Wilson,
Who's that?
Fat Amy from Pitch
She
Perfect.
played the goth girl where it's like, yeah, Skull was like...
Even
Oh.
then, you can see.
She did look kind of familiar.
Yeah, even
Okay.
then, like that is the type of humor that she's still doing today.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, shout her, and that's all the notes I have for this fucking class.
I already deleted my notes. So.
No, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm actually feeling like Ghost Rider craze right now, so I'm just gonna probably rewatch it again.
Why don't you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
But I will at some point. I'll
There's
watch the
episodes
whole
of Ghost
series.
Rider in there.
But,
You don't watch the whole series, just watch the season he's in.
Okay, but
Oh, okay.
I probably will at some point. But no, I really enjoyed Nick Cage's Ghost Rider. I think it was perfect, and I love this movie. Does so much justice for Spirit of Vengeance. I love how the Spirit of Vengeance, he's just totally insane, off the rails, just completely insane. I feel like this movie did a good job of bridging the gap between having just a guy who's just quiet, shy, pensive, and just doing his thing, and he's just been changed into
Pensive stare.
something else by being possessed by this demon, and literally being possessed, so forth, like. Feeling like he could control it and realizing he couldn't, that this demonic presence is just too overwhelming and insane for him, and Spirit of Vengeance just carries over. It's just...
Are these your final thoughts?
Yeah, these are my
Okay,
final
okay.
thoughts. Honestly, I would give this movie...
Oh!
I give
fuck.
this movie a 10 out of 10.
Oh no!
I really, really
But what
like
about
this
that
movie.
one Colin you brought up? What was that again?
It was
9.5.
It was just the thing broken, but even then, talking about this,
Yeah,
I
I
just
think-
forgot about it. So...
I don't know. I think 0 out of 10 really.
Oh no. What'd you give Thor Dark World?
I don't know.
No, he doesn't rate
Bad
it.
or 7.
7. Dylan, final thoughts on this movie?
Yeah, I did. I hope these are the final thoughts I've ever had for this movie in my entire
We're
life.
never watching this movie again.
You say that.
What did you say?
You say that.
Yeah.
With all the
Now we've done this cast, I have no reason to ever watch this movie
Ghost
again.
Rider's
I've seen it
Admiral.
once. I've seen it one too many times.
If they make a Ghost Rider
This movie
movie
sucks.
or TV show, we can say, hey, go look back. We already did 1 and 2, so we have no reason to do these anymore.
If I had to
You
make
get us to 5,000 subscribers, I'll do a commentary track.
5,000 subs. You heard it here.
in a week.
In a week.
5,000
No, in a
subs.
week. Me and Dylan made the agreement.
Yeah, if I don't know what I was gonna say. This movie's so bad. If I was to make a, assuming someone was gonna pay me to do this, I wouldn't do this recreation. If I was to make a compilation of my favorite moments in this movie, the best scenes, the video would probably be less than like 40 seconds long.
The monkey scene, right? When he's
The
laughing.
monkey scene, the coffee. I really liked that coffee scene. That's a classic. Shit, I mean, that might be it. Honestly, this movie, oh man, it was hard to get through. It really was. And there's been a few, Netflix and Fail in particular, there's been a few movies that's like, it's really a struggle. This one was 2 hours to boot as well, which doesn't help. Oh, jeez. I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. Travis, send us home.
Okay.
One question for you guys.
Oh!
If you could, yank Nick Cage out and recast him.
If I could
who
yank
would be
Nick
one-
Cage, I'm not going to yank Nick Cage.
If you could pick one male actor to replace him, who would you pick?
So this is a difficult question, though, because you are saying...
Is it the same movie?
Maybe the same movie.
Same. Okay, well, that's...
Then it doesn't
I don't want...
But pick an actor you think can actually do
Jared
justice.
Leto, because I want he can be in this shit.
You want some more ammunition against him?
Yeah. No, if I'm... So are you thinking any actor has to be an actor of that
Any
time?
actor.
Because for
I'd
me...
pick Elijah Wood, I think.
Wow.
Because to me, Ghost Rider, he's been always like a badass. He doesn't have that much depth. He's just like... He's an asshole. He's a badass. He's a drinker. I would have gone Jason Statham.
Yeah,
So-
I can see that.
And I still think that should happen with Jason Statham. I think Ghost Rider should be a Drax, a Hulk if they ever use him in the future. And not even to that level, but he should be a side character. Marvel Knights, I don't know if they'll ever do it. There's a team with him and Midnight Wolf and all this stuff and Moon Knight. I think he would work.
Midnight Wolf.
Yeah. I think he would work, or the Werewolf by Midnight.
Sounds like a pimp name or something.
Yeah. Werewolf by Midnight, actually, sorry. But I think he works better as a side character. Even in comics, I think comics can work, but I don't know if he can carry his own movie. For me, to sum this all up, this movie begins with a quote, and it says, "Sometimes the things about legends, they're true. Sometimes the things about legends, they are true." And it's just just started off with the most basic line that you could anybody, who's writing this? Anybody could wrote this. Sometimes things about legends
But
are
somebody
true.
did write it.
Yeah, I've said everything I need to. This is, if I don't know when it'll ever happen, but a long time ago, me, Kyle, and Liam ranked every comic book movie, and wherever this is ranked, it's gonna get put down a lot more lower now. Now that I've seen this, because I remember it being at least a little bit better than Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. It's gonna be pretty close to that one because this was a lot worse than I remembered. I just remember it being bad, but this was very tough to get through. I will never watch it again. It's a 0 out of 10 for me. I have nothing, and I hate giving movies zeros. I love giving movies 10s because I just love the movie so much. A 10 is a movie I'm going to rewatch over and over, and if I give something a 10, I think this year I've given 5, but those are movies I know I'll be purchasing and watching over and over. That's to me, not a perfect movie, but just my enjoyment. This, I try to even if I hate a movie or very dislike a movie, I go, what's one thing I really liked or just even could give it a 0.5 about? And this, I got nothing. I couldn't give you anything. I couldn't pull it out of myself. So, Taylor, where can they find us?
Ladies and gentlemen, there with your amazing internet connection, Wi-Fi, whatever you're rocking, even the data, you can go and find us on Google. Type in your Facebook on Google. And
What
you
is
can
this
go-
head swivel you're doing? I don't think you've
It's
ever done this before.
The writer's coming out.
You know that point. He does.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. But yeah, go on Facebook and search for on Facebook. Go Geek for Space Podcast. You'll find tons of awesome stuff, an awesome cover photo, profile picture, and all this stuff. As you scroll down, there's links, there's everything, and it's just fantastic. We got something for everyone,
This is
and
true.
we'll never run out of content.
Well, okay.
No, we actually never will. I can make that claim.
Both
There's always gonna be news, always gonna be movies. So yeah,
what about when we're all dead?
Someone will take over.
We'll have some other people.
I'm training Gwen already. So,
Nice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you want episodes like this early, head over to Patreon and subscribe there. You get this. You get the Spider-Man retrospective. You get Star Wars Clone Wars retrospective. Sometimes we throw some other specials up there. You get Gauntlet and stuff. Lots of bang for your buck. Head over to all your podcast subscriptions, needs, whatever. YouTube. Please subscribe, like, review. Let us know. Are you on Taylor's side? Did you love this movie? Are you in the middle? Did you hate it like us? Let us know. Let us know what movies you want us to, because we have some ideas. Like I said, Daredevil will be next, because that's the next Marvel Netflix TV show comes out. Same director that did this, so But I'm a big fan and defender of Daredevil, so that's why I should do Patreon, because I have a feeling they'll be up on Patreon much earlier than it will be live. So thank you very much for tuning in. Cut the check, Feige. Man, what does Feige think of this movie?
I'd love to see a review of Feige on this.
Just sit him we get him finally. We're big enough. We get him for an interview. Like, what are we doing today, guys, for the interview?
Probably out of town.
You're watching Ghost Rider with us. Yeah. Couldn't make it, sorry.
Do you wish Ghost Rider was part of the MCU?
This movie specifically.
Well, you're playing Avalon? Because bang, there could be a whole set of turns after you, or happening, so you can take a break. So I'm gonna put this plate so this really doesn't smell like stew.
Was there meat in that stew?
Boy, let mushrooms stick in the
Celery, potatoes, onions, carrots, and dumplings.
Oh, dumplings. What were in the dumplings? Was there beef in the dumplings?
Nope, just flour, sugar, water, or flour, salt, and water.
Classic.
That's great. You don't need
that.
You don't need watermelon.
Water Bologna. How's the watermelon diet going?
Fantastic. I'm still easing into it. Yes. Well, they're like, the tires have a nail in it. Your tire has just been worn down so much that the air is just seeping all over the whole tire. I'm like, oh, well, what do I do? And he's like, well, you're going to have to maybe go check with Cal Tire where we got the tires from and see what they can do. So I didn't do that because Cal Tire's website said they wouldn't be responsible, so... So,
preemptively watching the tweets.
Yeah.